Hello, it's the beginning of the summer holidays and I thought I would do a survival guide for when you're visiting grandparents. The chances are your parents getting childcare sorted if they're both working is quite difficult and Granny gets called upon to do granny duties. Now, all grandparents love their grandchildren with all their heart. Take that as read. But you're not perfect and neither are they, and you're going to have to get your head around this. The fantasy is a bit like Christmas. We all love Christmas, don't we? The reality is slightly different, and it's the same with visiting grandparents. The reality is different, and if you can sort of steer yourself through the trouble bits, you'll find that you have a much more lovely relationship with them than just the same old boring cliches. So, to start off, we all have grubby little secrets, and it can be very tiring being on good form all the time. So, I mean, the number of 11 pluses that I've got that they pick their nose and then wipe it under the table or on the walls. Don't do that. At grandparents, at least. But it's something they kind of unconsciously do when they're relaxed. Now, Granny is probably also is feeling that she's got to be on good behaviour for, say, maybe a fortnight, 3 weeks even, whilst you're there. And the truth of the matter is that she's probably got a little bit more flatulent than she'd rather people know about. And so you didn't hear. Okay? You just didn't hear. Pretend you haven't heard. Now, Grandad has probably been farting like an elephant for some years and is quite proud of it. In fact, he secretly thinks if there was an Olympic sport for this, that he would be on the British team. So he's quite proud of that. But he's been weeing in the garden for some years now, and that's what he does. That's what happens to old men, they just do. So don't look. Get interested in a flower. If he's disappearing off to a bush somewhere, furtively turning around, leave him to it. Okay? Just go off, do something else, and avoid that bit of the garden for a while. Yeah, that's you know, that's so we've all got our dirty, grubby little secrets. So they'll accommodate yours if you accommodate theirs. Now, there's some cardinal do nots. Do not go on your grandparents' computer. No, just no. I think that will make life a lot easier, unless of course you're doing my internet classes or downloading the math sheet. But apart from that, and even then get them to do it. You do not ever go on their computer. You do not have open access any more than you'd go through Granny's knicker drawer. No, it's private. Do not take food from the cupboards or the fridge, no matter how hungry you are. Wait for meal times. You're not going to starve. Do not wee on the floor. Boys, if this is a problem, and sometimes boys seem to get it everywhere, sit down, wee like that, and check everything's tucked in. You know what I mean. Do not eat with your mouth open. This is a generation that will kill you. Now, a lot of children aren't eating with the family as much because of the way things are, and this has slipped a bit. It's much more common for children to eat with their mouth open than 30 years ago. Your grandparents will kill you. So zip it. Don't use phrases like lol, because quite frankly they won't understand and it will just annoy them. So if something's funny, laugh. Don't be expensive. If your grandparents have taken you out for a trip, they can't afford the gift shop as well. So don't even contemplate it. If you want an ice cream, go for the cheapest one if they offer you one. Do not be expensive unless they invite you to do so. If they say choose whatever you like, even then, choose at the lower half of the categories. Right, so that's the don'ts. Let's have some do's. If there's a problem, if you're running out of socks or something, say, the chances are that there is a solution. Now, that doesn't mean whinge, do not whinge, but there are, you know, these are people that have actually managed to live to the ripe old age they are. They can do things, and they can probably fix most problems, most, not all, that come your way. So trust them to do that. Flush the loo. There are so many different mechanisms for flushing loos this time. It's a bit difficult. So if you have a problem, just ask. Say, I don't know how to do this. They'll probably go, but they will explain because they don't want to be doing that for you. It's not nice. And remember to say please and thank you for everything. All the time. Always. Oh yeah, if your parents have been asked to do 11 plus with you, they're not going to be happy. They're already doing free childcare, so that's it's above and beyond the call. So expect it to be your tutor as well. Now, if you can't remember from when I've showed you how to do it a matter of days ago, how are they expected to remember how to do it from 50 years ago? So cut them from slack. Get the work out before you're asked. Just do it, and then if you've got a problem with getting the answer right, ask them nicely. Once they're sat down with a cup of tea, don't interrupt what they're doing. Be charming. Cannot emphasize that enough. Be charming, be grateful for whatever their efforts, even if they're rubbish, they are trying. Right. Oh yes. When Grandma says, maybe that's not such a good idea, or maybe it's time to stop, what she really is saying, I'm gonna wring your neck. See? Get the difference? Maybe it's not such a good idea is a warning shot across the bow. Take it as such, because trouble's coming fast. Bedtime. Do not argue about bedtime. Even if they've changed the clocks and you know it's 6:30, do not argue about bedtime. Just graciously go, give them a kiss goodnight. Mwah, good night, thank you for a lovely day, see you in the morning, and be up early. Make sure that you know what time they have breakfast, and be up half an hour before then, so you can help, walk the dog, get breakfast, do that kind of thing. So be up and dressed in time, and also be aware of your grandparents' bathroom habits. If Granddad likes to spend 40 minutes in the bath, make sure you're not hogging the bathroom. If Grandma makes some fairly unspeakable smells, make sure there's time for the room to air. This is very much a private time. Make sure people have the privacy that they deserve. Don't go into their bedroom. Just don't. Because they might be having a sneaky hug, and one would rather hope so. Let's have a look. Oh yes. Remember that this is the generation that gaily resorted to smacking whenever things went wrong, and they saw nothing wrong with that, and it worked very nicely. Thank you very much. There will be times when you're there that the hand will be itching. Give you a good slap across the bottom. So watch out for the warning signs, and it will be easier, because they're not going to smack you. I promise they won't. But that's how they dealt with things in their day, and that they haven't got many other coping strategies to help them by being nice. And that's more or less it. If you can abide by these guidelines and be generally quiet, I think you're going to have a great time, and you'll remember it affectionately for the rest of your life, and with any luck at all, they might just invite you back next year. Have a great holiday. Bye bye.